February's been pretty big in terms of photography stuff. There's been a lot of new products, a lot of stuff has happened. Let's get into it. Let's go over everything that you need to know that happened in the photography world in February 2023. Now let's start off with new products because there have been a whole load of them. Earlier in the month, we saw a whole bunch of new stuff from Canon. We had the Canon R8, which is a lovely full frame camera, kind of coming in around that kind of RP, EOS R level, kind of a good entry level full frame camera. So really, when you say entry level with something like that, still very, very capable, still able to do all kinds of stuff, but just sitting below cameras like the R6 II, the R5, the R3, stuff like that. Then you have the R50, which is coming in as very much as an entry level APS-C camera. And this really does feel more like an entry level camera. Although I've got to be honest with you, that kind of terminology has changed over the years because it's still a very capable camera. And actually, if you got that as your first camera, you'd still be able to do an awful lot of different things. We saw some new lenses as well, probably most notably the RFS 55 to 210mm lens, which is a nice telephoto option for some of those APS-C cameras. And it's nice and small and it's nice and lightweight and all that kind of stuff. We also saw a new lens from OM System, the 90mm macro lens, which is a great option for anyone looking to shoot macro, especially micro four thirds. Always a good system for macro. You're getting so much reach. That lens has such high magnification capabilities. Really is able to capture some stunning stuff. We got our hands on all of those, so we've got reviews on all of that stuff on the channel. We also got our hands on some of the new Sigma stuff. So there was the 60 to 600mm lens that came out in January. We've had our hands on that now. We've done a review on that. That's a really lovely lens. It's E-mount or L-mount. We used it with a Sony A7R5. Really, really nice lens. And especially for that telephoto option, such a versatile focal range as well. So if you like wildlife, you like sports, you like anything like that, you could do a lot worse than a lens like that. We also saw the new Sigma 50mm art lens f1.4. Really nice lens again that we got to test out. And speaking of 50mm f1.4 lenses, we saw a new 50mm G Master from Sony as well. Now this is a 50mm f1.4, so we've got the 1.2 in the range, then there's the 1.4, and I know what you're thinking, wasn't there already a 1.4 50mm lens from Sony? And there was. But this is updated. We had our hands on this lens, we got to review it. You can really feel the difference. It's lighter, it's smaller, it's better pretty much in every way. The autofocus is better, even the image quality has been improved, and really it feels more up to date with the current cameras than perhaps the older lens did. We also saw Nikon announce two new lenses, the 85mm f1.2, great for portraits, that's going to be really lovely, and then a 26mm f2.8 pancake lens, which I think is a really interesting option for all Nikon shooters. We also saw Tamron announce the 11 to 20mm f2.8 lens for Fujifilm X mount, which hopefully we'll get our hands on at some point, which will be really fun to test out. Now we reviewed a lot of those new products. We haven't got the Tamron or the Nikon yet, but perhaps we'll be able to review them in the near future. We did that other Sigma lens as well, the 60 to 600, as well as reviews on things like the Hasselblad X2D, which by the way, awesome camera. We looked at some Zeiss binoculars, the SFL 30s. We looked at some Zeiss thermal imaging binoculars. That was really interesting and not something that I've done before. And that was a very interesting tool for kind of wildlife spotting. And of course, a whole bunch of tutorials on our YouTube channel, how to take better photos of your pets. So approaching it a little bit like a portrait shoot or trying to get action shots. Of course, we had tutorials in Lightroom as well. I love doing those tutorials, but of course, if there's anything specific you would like to see, whether it's editing or whether it's, out and about practical photography tutorials, let me know in the comments because I'm always keen to make the tutorials that you want to see. And we actually had a whole bunch of stuff going on at Par Cameras as well. We had Used Week in February. We've had a few videos on the channel all about that. And if you haven't checked out our used department yet, I'll pop a link down in the description so you can check that out because there's so much interesting stuff over there. It's growing all the time. Cameras, lenses, all things photography or video actually. If you're looking to add to your kit, it's a great way of doing it and saving yourself a few pounds as well. And we're super proud to have won Best Retailer in the Photography News Awards. That actually means an awful lot. And that's something we couldn't do without you guys. That's a lot that happened in February. Big month. March, I'm excited about it. I'm excited to get out of some of this gray weather. Although actually we've had a couple of nice sunsets, but mostly gray. It's going into spring, that's gonna be exciting. Last month we talked about inspiration of what to shoot. There was the green comet in the sky. Obviously that's gone now. But with March coming up, that means we're about to head into spring. Oh, and there's so much to shoot in spring. There's all kinds of different flowers, the greenery starts coming out, you get this beautiful sunrise and sunsets. Those sort of things are a slightly more reasonable time as well. You know, you might be able to go and shoot after work, certainly the weekend, you can go and shoot all kinds of fun stuff. There's loads of stuff to go and shoot as we go into spring, so I'm very, very excited about that. Let me know what you're going to be shooting over the next month. Is it going to be spring stuff? Are you looking forward to those sunsets, those sunrises, that interesting spring light? Let me know down in the comments, I'd love to hear. Maybe you're just interested in the flowers, or maybe it's time for some wildlife stuff. Let me know. I'll keep saying let me know, but let me know. Of course, you can check out all the products we've been talking about by checking out the links down in the description. I'll pop them all down there just to make it nice and easy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got new tutorials, new reviews, new all kinds of stuff coming throughout March. I'll be seeing you in the next video, but until then, as always, thanks for watching.